This is World War Z, aka WWZ, and it is based on the property in connection with Paramount. To start, there are a number of episodes, and then there is a multiplayer area. The episodes are PvE, whereas the multiplayer is PvP, where you compete against one another with a mixture of zombies. To start, when you're getting into the game, we're going to play on Tokyo, which is episode 4. It may sound far in, but every episode has a set number of chapters within it, and they're all standalone stories. They all have different characters, and you're actually able to customize your class beforehand and level up the different classes and customize your weapons as you unlock XP and use the guns, and then you're able to spend your points that you get across the experience in order to enhance them further in order to make them more powerful. So things typically start with like a brief cinematic cutscene. They're not long, you can vote to skip them, but they just kind of set the stage for what's happening. And like I mentioned, each of these stories is a standalone experience. It's set in different parts of the world, and it is based off of the Paramount film. It just kind of expands the universe. So we are on the Xbox One X, and it is enhanced. We're getting a 4K resolution. I'm going to push for 4K resolution. No HDR support from what it mentions. The game is largely focused on a 4-player cooperative experience. Again, different classes coming into play. And then you can also play like offline if you'd like to, if you don't want to play with others. But I mean, a large portion of this, of what it is actually, you know, going and playing with other people. That's kind of the whole appeal of it, because the world is just piled with zombies. There's so many zombies, and this is a ton of fun. So I will mention, if you want to see the multiplayer portion of that, we're going to do half as this like part of the campaign, and then the latter half of this review will be focused on multiplayer levels, just so that you can see both parts of the experience. So aside from the variety of regular zombies, we also have special infected. There are difficulty tiers too, so if you need a little bit more of a challenge, you can select that. The worlds are very highly detailed. They're expansive. I mean, look at this. The draw distance, the level of detail, the density. It's rather impressive, and I think the game actually looks really good. It plays quite well. It's been smooth. I haven't had any performance issues or anything like that. It's been a largely really well-running game, considering the quantity of creatures that are on the map. That being said, I have had some minor issues. A lot of the game is very cooperative focused, and the online people, I guess this really isn't the fault of the game, but a lot of the online people seem to have like no idea what they're doing. They don't really play like the objective so that we can progress, and then you know, things go bad. Moving past that though, I have had parts where the AI can be a little bit buggy, not the human AI that help you, because if somebody leaves, you know, you get humans that film, AI humans that film the bots. But the zombies, sometimes they get stuck in stuff, and I've noticed there's sort of these awkward points. Sometimes you have NPCs working with you in the game, so you're not just like, you know, our group of people doing stuff. Sometimes we have to protect people. And there's these points on like a number of levels, I've seen it a few times, where there's like a point of no return. You drop down somewhere or something like that. But you can get downed, or your NPC can get downed at that point of no return, and you can't get them, so you fail and you have to redo the whole chapter, which is kind of like, you know, sort of really ultra annoying. But other than that, I mean, just little zombie glitches and stuff that don't really alter gameplay. It's been smooth. I don't have any issues with it. I think there's a fair amount of content when you replay levels. Like, I failed some levels because the confidence on my teammates is unreal, but moving past that, there is some variety in the actual levels themselves. It's not crazy. I really would say this game is like Left 4 Dead 2. It's a modern take on that, with more zombies and a more realistic world, just expanding on that. I would have perhaps liked some more modes in it, because I mean, there's a lot of multiplayer modes, but campaign-wise, it's just sort of, you know, you got the campaign and stuff like that, which isn't bad. There's quite a fair bit of content, and I think it's a pretty well put together game. I really love Left 4 Dead, so I always love to see games that are similar or like mix up on the formula. And I've just had a ton of fun with this one. I've just absolutely been loving it. I know not everybody's like super helpful when I'm playing on these cooperative teams, but I still have a really good time just kind of working with randoms and just, you know, surviving and taking on the zombie threat. So moving past that, obviously we got the key kind of weapons and stuff with the classes. You know, the classes, different abilities. I play as the medic because that's what I usually do in games. If you see me in other things where there's class-based stuff, usually I am the medic. So you kind of get like extra bonuses, and you buy skill points and stuff like that with what you earn. There's these breaching charge things. They kind of unlock special items if you have a breach charge or find one, and that'll give you a bonus in defending places. Some of the game has you kind of defending these key points. You have to put down turrets and electric floor things, and ow. And, you know, similar stuff like mortar fire and that, just to help you out when you are battling for your life. So that's kind of neat. It is a linear experience. You do get some of these more open areas like you're seeing here. Some of them are a little bit more free because you have to go and like collect parts in order to do things, or you have to like search for tags and stuff like that. But yeah, it is largely a very linear thing. There are some choices in how you progress, but for the most part, very simple to understand and easy going. Like I mentioned, special effective, we got gas guys, we got big super lurking guys, and then we got, like, I think they're called the creepers. They kind of jump in and like, they're pretty well hidden. Like there's a couple ones, I haven't been scared, but I've been like definitely caught off guard with some of them. You know, where they just come around, like they're literally like around corners and they're very well hidden, they don't make any noise, and they, like when you're safe, they come for you, which I think is interesting. And yeah, they get trickled in with the regular guys. And then I did notice that like reviving people is a little bit different, or not reviving. Reviving people is kind of easy. I just wish they would have added something where you can kind of crawl, because again, going back to that point I made about the NPCs getting stuck at points of no returns, or even your teammates getting stuck at points of no returns. I think crawling while you're down would have made a huge difference in that regard. But it's very hard to like revive, or not revive, heal somebody. Yeah, see how it says heal? Because you gotta click down on the D-pad, and it's kind of hard because people are moving, and then, yeah, I found it very difficult to be able to pull off heals on your teammates, which as a medic is something I, you know, should be doing. Sometimes you have to click switches, and there's a good variety. So I've been playing across the campaign. Each area feels different. There's like Moscow, I believe was before this. They have can't even remember all of them right now, just because I've been just slaughtering zombies. You kill just thousands of them in this game. It's absolutely ridiculous and a lot of fun. Moscow, Jerusalem, and I think you're in a US city to start. I don't know. And it has a nice progression if you start from the beginning, but you can't just jump in as a quick play and, you know, try at any point. Oh, you can also put down barbed this stuff. Barbed wire, I think is what it's called. Sometimes you get that. It's sort of random what you get in the world, because you have to collect it from chests, and there's these chests everywhere. The chests have like cool guns and stuff like that. And then you usually get these like drop points where you find a new weapon that you can use, and as you use the weapons, you level up each like chapter and stuff like that in order to get better things, access to better attachments and stuff like that in order to improve your guns. And you'll see that kind of leveling experience also present in the multiplayer portion. Cool, continuing on here, bit of a sneeze. So yeah, lots of zombie density, and this is absolutely just like nothing on that. Seriously, it gets way more frantic. Zombies hopping down from ledges, zombies like climbing things. You get those triangle, pyramid type zombie formations you have to shoot out. You can use the heavy guns, which got like a one-shot thing that kind of backfired because the zombie got in the way, which happens. These guys, you just hit them in the back and they kind of die really easily, but I just kind of dropping the ball there. And you're just kind of working together. You can use melee too, if you find that helpful as well, but it's kind of like a last-ditch thing. There's like a chainsaw. Oh, and then we got these stim packs. They'll kind of keep you going for a little bit. See that extra yellow health? That just kind of gives you enough time to heal somebody, like if you're trying to revive them, or heal yourself with a health pack. They are life savers. And yeah, it's nice to kind of work together to kill zombies, hit up these iconic locations with their swarm engine, featuring hordes upon hordes of zombies. I gotta take the bus, I guess we're moving along here. But it really does look like a very lovely game. I mean, the visuals are impressive. It's full of gore, just tense action as you shoot piles upon piles of zombies as they just swarm at you. It's very, very satisfying, actually. And there's character levels, and I mean, I think it's a very well put together experience. It's well rounded. There's a lot going on. That being said, I still would have liked something just, you know, more game mode wise. There's a lot to it, don't get me wrong, and maybe hopefully we'll see some extra content over time. As a base package, I think there's quite a lot to enjoy in this one, especially if you are a fan of Left 4 Dead and that style of cooperative zombie killing, which I still feel that there is definitely like a niche to be filled there, and I think this one kind of really hits that spot where I'm like, I want another Left 4 Dead title, and yeah, it helps fill that void for sure. And then we're going to jump onto the multiplayer portion. I hope this campaign segment was fine, and it does kind of show off what it's like, and then we'll jump onto the multiplayer here. This is the multiplayer section, so you can see we got a couple of game types. Note that maybe they might change over time or get consolidated, but you get some pretty interesting things. You just get a general quick match, there's domination, king of the hill, swarm deathmatch, scavenge raid. So this is one where you kind of find resources and stuff, and this is one where you're trying to hold the vaccine. So there's some variations on modes. We're gonna do king of the hill because I kind of like that mode. So to start, you're getting your level up, and you're enhancing your classes. There's a large selection of classes to choose from. They'll have sort of pre-configured options in terms of content. Some grenades, some have healing ones, different weapons, and you have like a heavy type weapon that you're able to use as well. So when you get to a match, you're able to pick like a character. It really doesn't matter too much, so we're just gonna go there. And then as you can see, you've got all these different class options. I've been doing the Warfighter just because I like the combination for multiplayer. And then we're going to jump into the actual game. It does load pretty fast. Sometimes it takes a little bit for matchmaking to kind of get everybody going, just because it is sort of like a rolling lobbies type setup. You can just kind of keep playing, and that's pretty good. So the maps themselves they're varied. There's a lot of different options. Personally, I find them a little small, but on the flip of that, the action is actually really fast paced because everybody's constantly into it, constantly going. But at the same time, it kind of leaves room for a bit of spawn killing. Sometimes you just might end up in like the middle of conflict or a bunch of zombies, and that really doesn't particularly go well when you're trying to fight against others, and it's just a nice mix. Alright, so we're into the match, finally. A little bit slower than usual. That being said, so there's zombies in the middle of this. So there's this game I played a while back. It was called Dead Alliance. It was absolute garbage, but it had this same similar concept. And I really do feel that this sort of idea where zombies are, a part of your conflict could actually be a really interesting game type, and I think they do a pretty good job of actually delivering on that concept. As I get shot up from the two guys over there. They sort of let us clear the rings. But, in this one we've got like a moving position. You're on a timer for your kind of skills, so you gotta wait for certain things to pop up, like your grenades. And then you're just in a combat. And you can die really quick. It's fast-paced. Damage is intense. And you're getting points based on like your kills and everything like that. And then obviously the objective is important too if we're playing something like King of the Hill. Ah, crap. That wasn't good. I do find it to be sort of a simple multiplayer. Don't expect anything too intense, but I do think they sort of nailed that concept again with the Dead Alliance thing, where it's like, let's throw zombies into the mix of people shooting one another, and let's see what, sort of happens. And I think that's a fun little, more casual multiplayer experience to enjoy. And I do like, multiplayer games and shooters. I find particularly fun. So it's always good to have something that's a little bit different and that's still enjoyable. I really do think this is a neat sort of game, and it does something that is, stylishly different. Okay, we got a position defended. Lots of zombies are coming in. There's a bit of a swarm going on right now, so that's not fantastic. That's a teammate. I should also mention the game has commands when you hold down on the D-pad. So you get things like refuse and stuff like that. I think I'm getting shot in the back. So you can actually crouch too. Sort of a thing to do is like when you're getting shot at to... Did they get me like one shot around the corner? But you can kind of crouch when you're getting shot at. It's kind of like a... not really a cool thing to do because I think in COD we call it like drop shotting or something. But you know, it can actually add perspective if you are doing that instead of just like running around, because you are making yourself smaller, and your character will pop up around or cover and stuff. So it actually does have a little bit of a like a cover-based combat to it. See right here. And our ultimate kind of gun is available. So crap. Are they there? This one you gotta like lean down with. It's a little bit harder to shoot, but once you get going, it's super powerful. And yeah. And it's on a timer too, so you can't shoot it forever. Nice. I think there's a double kill there or something. Shoot that guy. But yeah, really tight environments. As you can see, the map is really small, so you're like sort of spawning on top of each other, which I guess could get stressful for some. But I think it's fairly well balanced, and it just for keeping the flow going, it does an alright job of it. Matches are fairly quick, so you're not spending forever playing them. I think that's kind of good. Blind fire here. Crap. I wanted to kind of get like a sprint going and do like a melee thing, but yeah. My thumbstick's a little bit touchy on that. Try to get up here. There are different levels of elevation too, so that can change things. Not every map is like a flat layout. Some of them have even multiple floors that you can shoot off of and stuff. It really does mix the action up, having that sense of verticality during the combat. They're interesting maps. I wouldn't say they're like perfect multiplayer maps, but they're neat. They're all different. They all have different themes, different kinds of like weathering conditions to them. And then the zombie dynamic is also pretty crazy. There's even like in the domination when there's moments where the zombies absolutely just swarm like one of the flags, and you can't go there. Otherwise, it's gonna, the zombies are basically gonna eat you alive just because their numbers are so high. So you do gotta be careful for that. So yeah, they're swarming kind of right here. That's not good. Oh no. Yeah. So it really does capture that sort of authentic World War Z action where there's just piles upon piles upon piles of zombies everywhere. I fucked up with that grenade. That was not good. Yeah, moving past that, I think the playlists offer a lot of dynamic sort of combat to experience. Different challenges, different ways to compete with each other. I've had a good time with the game overall. I think there's a solid amount of content in this. They bring multiplayer, but they do something different with it. I think they deliver where Dead Alliance kind of failed with this concept. And it's actually a pretty competent third-person shooter that offers a challenge and some fun. Cooperative and PvP options are present. Crap. Oh, no, he's dead. Okay, well, that's sort of a waste of my gun. I don't see anybody. Great, well, that's a waste. And then you go, you shoot, you compete, you have some fun with it. Don't take anything too seriously. And I think it really delivers on something that is, polished, that's enjoyable. It feels like a full package. It feels like there's a lot to this. I mean, you're going to get a campaign, right? And then you're going to get the multiplayer. And it really, you're going to get as much out of it as you sort of want to with this one. Whoa, that guy survived the grenade? I'm glad I still got him, but he was like right on top of that, wasn't he? Should have like blown his leg off or something. I don't know. That's what I think of when you step on a grenade. But, nah. So you're getting like ribbon stuff too for playing. And hopefully they sort of, just keep supporting this. Oh god, this is not good. Hopefully they continue to support this part of the game with maybe new content over time, or changing up playlists and stuff, and I don't know, things like that. Is that like me, another version of me that became a zombie? That's weird. Anyways, lots of zombies coming around. That's less than ideal.
Your team lost the point. Your team captured the point.
But yeah, the combat's pretty intense. Is that a bad guy? Why does he look like a player? Scary. Great variation in the zombies. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but they really do have a lot of dynamic looking zombies and stuff. It feels nice and dense, whether you're playing multiplayer or the campaign. It's just a really great, fun experience. You know, I'm actually really enjoying something that is a bit of a rarity because, you know, just the type of games we see these days. It's nice to have something that's a little bit more laid back and still fun at the same time. I mean, you're always going to be able to enjoy this one whether you're fighting off others online or, you know, if this dies out at any point, which I hope it doesn't because it's quite enjoyable, that there's still, like, you know, the campaign. You can still play it by yourself if you like, or you can just set up matches and just matchmake, and, you know, it's not hard to find others in this game thus far. And I think it's fairly well streamlined, works efficiently. I haven't really had any multiplayer issues, connection issues, or anything like that. My real complaints just be the map's a little bit small, and yeah, that's kind of it. Get blasted! Aw, yeah, that's World War Z. Again on Xbox One X, delivering some really quality graphics. Zombies that smoothly run around and attack you and rip you apart. And all the action that you would expect from this type of game based on that Paramount film that apparently isn't getting sequels or something. I don't know. They really should, but whatever.